What's up, guys? It is King Julian, and today I'm gonna be just kind of vlogging. That's why I have the light music in the background. Um, I specifically picked indie rock or indie calm music because I just wanted to talk about something kind of serious, but not really. We're gonna be talking about friends. The reason I bring that up is I'm not gonna say names, but you know who you are. Pair of friends that don't necessarily get along, and they're trying to, which I very much appreciate, but I don't want it to go wrong. Now, the reason for them fighting is not my job to put out, but basically what it was that we had a view, different views, and let's just say that both sides don't feel equal to both parties. And I want to go to this festival called Warped Tour. I've already talked about it. Go check out that video. But I'm having trouble deciding who I want to go with me. And I want both of them to go with me. So I thought I'd kind of talk about it, and I thought I'd address it not just for them, but for other people who are having trouble with their friends not getting along. So the first thing that I would suggest is to actually sit down and have a conversation to get a better understanding as to why they have issues with each other. Because what the deal is most of the time is that one person says something and they're telling the other person. That person tells the person that they were talking about, and things just keep going back and forth. And no one really even knows the real reason as to why they don't like each other, or why they don't want to be around each other, or why they're not friends anymore. And I think it's dumb to go on working like that. And I don't believe that when you're in a situation like this that you should use phones, or that you should text, or even just calling. You need to sit face to face and talk to each other, and have the person who's not fighting, or someone who's not in the situation who can be unbiased, mediate the conversation. Because when they can do that, they can maybe interpret what someone said. Maybe someone said something and the other person thinks it's rude, and then one person cuts in and say, hey, that might sound like this to the person, so let me clarify as to what they probably meant. And most of the time the mediator is usually right, and I'm usually the mediator. But I think you should definitely sit down and have a conversation. Second is that if this has been going on for more than 6 months, then 9 times out of 10 they've probably forgotten why they're mad at each other. They might say something like a topic very broad, but they don't have something specific that they can give to you. And when that's the case, you know at this point they don't even remember, and they don't really want to be mad, but they think they're supposed to be mad. So what you do in that situation is up to you. You can either stop being mad at each other, stop being petty towards each other, or, whatever you have towards them, or continue being mad with them. That is your choice. But your choice does not just affect you. It affects you and your group of friends, and the people around you. But that's just what I think. The third thing that I would say should happen is that not only the two people or group of people that are having an issue talk, but the people, again, around them need to be in a group conversation that is organized. You need to have a system as to how to speak. Either, hey, we have this stuffed animal or something like that, and when it's in your hand, you can talk. Don't interrupt, okay? Like that, just do that. Like how a teacher would in kindergarten when it's like, oh yeah, we can talk, and yeah, well, you gotta pass the bear around. You know, it might seem childish, but it gives people the chance to speak and feel like they're not being talked over. But definitely the people in the group, and not just the two people or the group, little tiny group of people that are having an argument. The whole group needs to get a whole understanding as to, okay, so this and this is happening between these two people. This is the reason they don't like each other. Stop passing information on to other people and expecting them to pass it on to the other person. Or saying, oh, I'm going to tell you this, but don't tell so-and-so. And that brings me to the fourth reason. Stop keeping secrets. You might not be keeping secrets, but others may be keeping secrets. And if you're keeping secrets and you're saying, hey, me and blah blah blah, so-and-so did this while me and him were friends or whatever, but don't tell him I told you that. That makes things more complicated, and the person that you told, it puts them in a bad position, because they're like, okay, well, I have an obligation to tell my friend, but I also have an obligation to not tell because this other friend, you know, told me don't say anything. Do you lie when they ask, or do you not say anything? Do you say, I'm not allowed to tell you, or do you tell them? You know, it puts them in a bad position, and if they don't have a good sense of what's right and wrong, then it might mess them up. The last thing I'm gonna put in, not necessarily advice as to what you should do, but it's basically just what I think is going on. Now, the reason I posted this as a video is because if I had just said it face to face with whoever I'm talking to, you know who you are, it wouldn't have gone the way I expected it to. So I would rather just keep it as a video, keep it vague, so that you can think about these options, and think, you know, how this is not just only affecting you, but affecting me, or if we're talking vaguely or broadly, affecting your group of friends. Not only my situation, but if you're dealing with your friends arguing, again, it's affecting the group. You're not the only one feeling this. When someone of a group of friends is feeling something, whether it's hurt or happiness, the rest of them feel it. So be careful, because it messes with them. And if they're like true friends, it will mess with them. So if you're upset, your friend's gonna feel it, if they're a good friend, because that's just what good friends do. That's just my input. Sorry if this, I don't know, triggered any emotions, or if someone upset it with this. I didn't mean it to be mean in any way. I just meant, hey, if you got a problem with someone, just address it. Have a calm conversation and have someone mediate it, because it doesn't get better just passing it back and forth between one person. Someone like me, who has so many things going on in their head, I will forget things like, hey, I'm going to tell you this, but don't tell so-and-so this. What? Wait, was it I'm not supposed to tell them this or that? I can't remember those things. I have so many things going on in my head at once. I can barely remember what I wore yesterday. Like, I legit don't remember what I wore yesterday. Sometimes I will come to school in the same thing I wore the day before, and people are like, why are you wearing what you wore yesterday? Like, oh, I wore this yesterday? I don't even, like, I legit don't remember. Don't expect someone like me, if you have a friend that's like me, to remember all of those things. Stop passing secrets back and forth to this person. They don't know what they're doing. So, I'm just going to leave it at that, but I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.